Hello guys, welcome to another video in the Team NetShot channel, and in today's video we will be talking about Burp Suite, which is an essential and an important tool that you should know about. Should know how to use it whether you are a penetration tester or an ethical hacker, because a penetration tester when he's testing a website, one of the first steps that you will be doing as a penetration tester is that you will be analyzing the requests that are made to the server and the responses that are coming back from the server, so that you understand how the application is communicating with the backend server and how the data is being exchanged between the two. So let's jump right in and let's start with what is Burp Suite. So Burp Suite is a Java application developed by Portswigger Ltd, which can be used for securing or performing penetration testing on web applications. The suite is made up of different tools such as proxy server, a indexing robot, and intrusion tool, a vulnerability scanner, as well as an HTTP repeater. So it's essentially a lot of tools that are packed together in one application, which is Burp Suite. Okay, so in this video I will be talking only about using Burp Suite as a proxy server, because Burp Suite can be used as a lot of things like a brute force tool, but in this video we will be only talking about the usage of Burp Suite as a proxy server. So when Burp Suite is used as a proxy server, the Burp Suite allows the user to manipulate the traffic that passes through it between the web browser and the server. This position is commonly referred to as a man-in-the-middle attack, and we will see why is it called man-in-the-middle. The application uses an interface allowing easy manipulation of the data exchanged in both directions. Thanks to this functionality, it's possible to inject non-compliant data with the aim of causing abnormal behavior of the application and therefore identifying the bugs and associated vulnerabilities. So, in the normal case, when you are making a request from a web browser to a server, you're sending a request to a server directly and the server responds directly to you. That's how it will look like. So you are the client, you're sending requests to the server, and server will respond to those requests with whatever you requested, whether it's a web page, whether it's an image or a file. But when you are using Burp Suite as a proxy, then each request that you are making to this server will go through Burp Suite, so you can view the entire request, modify the request, and then forward it to the server. And when the server responded back with the response, it will also be intercepted with Burp Suite, so you can modify it in any way you want and then forward it back to the web browser. So let's analyze a request that is intercepted by Burp Suite. So here we're making a request to the index page of google.com, and I have intercepted the request with Burp Suite. And the first thing this is an HTTP request that's made to google.com, and I have a crash course coming up on the HTTP crash course, and if you want to get notified when I upload that video, make sure to subscribe and activate the bell icon, the bell, so you get notified when I upload the video. Alright, so we first have the GET, which is the HTTP method that is used to send the request. In this case it's GET, but it could be a post request a post method if you are sending post to the server. In case of a login page, it could be a put method if you are making a file on the server. It could be a delete if you are deleting an existing file on the server. Next we have this slash. This slash indicates the path that we are requesting from the host. In this case, it's only slash, which means we are requesting the home page, so the full URL will be the following. And then we have the version of the HTTP that is used to send the request. This is the first line, and then in the next lines we have what's called an HTTP headers. Each header consists of a key value pair separated by a column, and as convention we capitalize each letter in the header. If the header consists of two words, the two words are joined using a dash. If a header has multiple values, the values are separated by comma. And each header is in its corresponding line. And this is essentially what HTTP looks like when you intercept the request using Burp Suite. And analyzing the response that came back from the server, we see that now we have first the HTTP version that's used when the request is sent. Then we have a status code 200, okay, which means that the request page is found and everything is okay. And next we have the response headers. We have the date, which is the date, the current date when you requested the page, and we have the content type, text HTML, which indicates the type of file that you have requested from the server. And also we have the server, which is GWS, which is Google Web Servers. We have also the cookies. The server is setting cookies on our side, and we have the connection and the content length, the length of the response, and then we have a blank line followed by the response, which is in this case an HTTP page. Okay, so now that we have an idea about what Burp Suite is and how important tool it is to know, so let's now take a look at how to download Burp Suite. So if you go to any browser of your choice, just navigate to Google and type in download Burp Suite Community Edition. And there are three editions of Burp Suite. We have the Community Edition, the Professional Edition, and the Enterprise Edition. The Community Edition is free to use and comes with a lot of tools, the essential tools, and as a beginner, just on first learning about Burp, it's gonna be all you need will be in the Community Edition. But if you are doing some really professional job, you're scanning websites, you're scanning for vulnerabilities, then you might want to download the Professional Edition. So you just navigate to the first URL, and then you can download the Burp Suite latest version Community Edition. It's gonna detect your platform by default, the operating system that you are using, but if it's not, you just need to select the one that you are using. I'm on Windows, so I'm select the Windows 64 bits and then hit download. And then you need to save the file and go through the download process, which should be fairly straightforward and easy to go through. Alright, so I have already installed Burp Suite. So once you have installed it, now you can open it and you see the interface is very it's kind of easy to use. Now we have the Proxy tab, which we will be talking about today, and the other tabs which I'll be dropping videos about in the next upcoming week. Okay, so the Proxy tab, this is where the requests that you are intercepting and the responses will appear, and you can change it however you want. Alright, so first you need to configure the web browser that you are using to use Burp Suite Easy Proxy, and I found that Firefox is a lot easier to configure, unlike other browsers that you need to download additional extensions. For example, if you are using Google Chrome, then you need to download an extension called Foxy Proxy. So but if you are using Firefox, you just need to go to the options and then to the general, then go scroll all the way down, and then in the network settings you just need to change this one from no proxy to use manual proxy, and set the HTTP proxy to 127.0.0.1, and the port is 8080. If you don't have 8080 available, maybe you're running a web server on it, or you are testing an application in your local host, then you need to change this one to whatever port that you have available. But in that case, you need to change it also in the Burp Suite. So if you go to the Proxy tab, and then if you go to the options, alright, so we have this one right here, 127.0.0.1 colon 880. This is the default port in which the Burp Suite is running, but you can always add new option. For example, if you don't have 8080 available, then you can create a new one with the available port that you have. Alright, so once you just now have configured Firefox to use Burp Suite, just need to press OK, and now Firefox is set to use Burp Suite as the proxy. For example, now you just need to make sure that if you go to the proxy, the Intercept, you make sure the Intercept is on. And now if we go to the, for example, google.com, now you see that it's already intercepting our request. And as you can see, this is the request that we have made. Let me just reload it again, reload the page, and as you can see, this is the request. It's a get request to the index page using HTTP version 1.1. The host is www.google, and we have all the other headers. For example, the user agent specifies the application that you are using to interact with the with this server. In our case, it's Firefox. Okay, now if you want to forward the request to the server, you can hit press forward. If you want to drop and discard the request, you just need to click on drop. I'm going to forward the request, and now we have the response that's coming back from the server, which is using HTTP version 1.1, and it's 200 status okay, means the requested file or the requested resource was found and everything went okay, no errors and nothing. You just need to forward it back to the web browser, and we have the home page of Google loaded in our browser. Now the problem is Burp Suite now is going to intercept any request that we made to any sites, not just Google. And this is really going to be annoying when you have, for example, test any application on your local host, and then you're going to have to deal with all other requests coming from other websites. So you want to narrow down the URLs, or you want to tell Burp Suite to only intercept the requests and the responses that are coming from this specific URL. And you can do that by, if you go to the target tab, and then we have something called scope. Let me just remove this. It's going to be empty for you when you start Burp, but you can add to it. So for example, if you want to use only the request to Google, then you just need to http://www.google.com, and there is another easy way to add it to the scope. I'll show you that later. So now I set the scope to only intercept requests coming, send it to Google, and the responses coming from Google. It's hit OK, and let's say you have added an item to, do you want Burp Suite to stop? Just say no. And if we go now we have set the scope, but we need to tell Burp Suite to use this scope. So if we go to the proxy and the options, let me talk about these options real quick. So we have the intercept client requests. Alright, this check means says to Burp to intercept all the requests. We have here and we have also, this one will be unchecked by default, but you want to check it so it intercepts only the requests for the URLs that are in the scope. In our example, only the www.google.com. We have the other option, intercept server response. This box will be unchecked by default. You just need to intercept it to mark this box checked, and in this way you're telling Burp to also intercept the responses that are coming back from the server, because by default Burp Suite is only gonna intercept the requests and not the responses. And we have also we only want to intercept the responses that are coming from the targets that are in our scope. So you want to check this box as well. Alright, so now that we have did this, if we go to the Intercept, and now let's reload the Google page one more time, and as you can see we still intercept the requests. If we're gonna forward this, and we have the response, so everything is working as we expected. Now let me go to other for example, let me reload this page, the page when we downloaded the Burp Suite. So as you can see, it went really, it didn't intercept, so the request was not intercepted by Burp Suite. So as you can see, it actually worked, and we have only intercepted the request that is going to Google. One other thing that I want to mention is, for example, let me just reload the Google page again. Now here we are. So as you can see in the user agent, let me just take this header for example, but you can do the exact same thing for any other header of your choice. So let's say for some reason you want to change the user agent that you are sending the request from to something like, I don't know, for example, just the word Mozilla. You just change and now forward the request, and as you can see we get the response back. But this could be a lot tedious, because in each request I'm gonna have to go in there manually, change the user agent value to Mozilla, but Burp Suite can actually do that for you. If you go to the Proxy, the Options tab, and now you go to the Match and Replace, and this is where you can set all those match and requests. So for example, in the first one, it's matching the header user agent, and it's changing its value to whatever it was set to this new value, user agent Mozilla 4.0 compatible, anyway, to this value. Or you can change it to Apple or Android. So for example, let's change it to Linux Android and hit, and now check this one. So whenever you're sending any request that you are sending to any item on the scope that is in this scope, it's gonna change the user agent value to this new value. And let's actually make sure that this actually works. So if we go to here, as always, let me just reload the Google. We go to google.com, hit OK, and we have intercepted. And now we just, yes, here it is. We now have changed it to Safari 5.33.1, so it's changed, and you can do the exact same thing with any header in the request. Okay, so let's see what else can I. Alright, we have the HTTP history, which I want to show you how to add the target to a scope. So let's remove this target from the scope now. Highlight this one to highlight it and remove. Now we get, now that Burp Suite, there is no items in this scope, so it's actually, let me see, what is it going to intercept Google? Yeah, I have to forward this one right here, and let me just reload the page. Yeah, since there's no item in the scope, it's not gonna intercept anything. Now if you go to the proxy HTTP history, as I told you, now what is this HTTP history? It saves each request that you made to the each request that you have made. And for example, if we click on this one, you can take a look at the request that you have sent and the response that come back from the server. And you can, for example, that's the google.com and the index page, you can add this one to the scope right from this HTTP history. So for example, instead of copying the URL, adding it to the scope, you just need to go to that URL, and it's gonna save in the HTTP history, come back to the HTTP history, look for the URL, and right click and now add to scope. So no, and if you see, we already have the color of target change. This means some changes are made in this tab. So if you go to the tab, you see that Google now has been added to this scope. Okay, so you can apply filters right here. you can, for example, only show the items that are in the scope instead of showing the history of each request that you made to any request. So just need apply, and now we only have the requests that are in the scope. One thing that I find people struggle with is how to increase the font size of Burp Suite. For some reason, I don't know why. If you, for example, having this trouble, you can just need to go to the user options, display, to the display tab, and then in the user interface you can set the size to, if it's, for example, a lot bigger than what you need, or if it's smaller, you can adjust it to whatever size suits you. You can also change. The Burp Suite has two themes. You can either theme, you can choose the light one, which is I'm using right now, or you can choose the dark, but I think most people use the light, which is a lot more convenient and easy to read. You can also change the font. They have a lot of fonts to choose from. Okay, alright, so that was my breakdown to the Proxy tab in the Burp Suite. In the next upcoming videos we'll be talking about the other tabs, like the intruder, which is a very important one, also the repeater, and I might be going through the remaining ones in a separate video. So if you want to check if you want to get notified whenever I upload new video, don't forget to subscribe, hit like button. If you have any questions at all, you have faced any problem during the installation of Burp Suite, you can put your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And thanks for watching, and have a good day.